Hey guys, this is Toy Tell Like It Is. Just in case if you didn't know before, I made videos on the swamp, Donald Trump's swampy cabinet, and Goldman Sachs before the Freemasons and the Zionist gang out there deleted my YouTube back in March of this year. Thank goodness we've had some events happen through that time that I wouldn't have been able to cover before. But this video, I'm going to talk about the three fraudulent, hypocritical liars, the three hypocrite Trump bashers: Anthony Scaramucci, his communications director, how he's a member of the same swamp, good friends with Obama, he gave money to Hillary. Kellyanne Conway demanded that Trump should release his tax returns. Kellyanne Conway was a pundit on that so-called fake news network CNN. And Nikki Haley got a job as ambassador to the UN, and she criticized Donald Trump before she got that position. This is proof that all this back and forth criticizing, bickering is all for show. When at the end of the day, these Republicans and Democrats get together behind closed doors, and they're all good buddy. They're laughing at the manipulated, confused, deceived, and outright brainwashed masses out there that think that it's the Republicans or the Democrats that are destroying America. First and foremost, Anthony Scaramucci is a White House Director of Communications. He was appointed to that position a few days ago after Trump got rid of Sean Spicer. Anthony Scaramucci, a member of the gang. You see, he used to work at Goldman Sachs, right there. Anthony Scaramucci was born in the year 64. This is a key number of the Zionist gang, because after all, Israel, Zion, Synagogue of Satan, Master Mason Trump, he is a Freemason. He's a member of the Freemasonic gang of the government. Barack Hussein Obama, all equal 64, but also Anthony Scaramucci's full name in simple gematria has the number 88 contained in it. It is Trump and the Zionist order that has made this swamp even swampier. It's the same gang of career politicians that will say anything to get a job. They will say anything that is popular at the current moment. Anthony Scaramucci is a liberal like Donald Trump, a New York City liberal. He made tweets about supporting climate change, abortion, gay rights. He was against the border wall. And he said he voted for Clinton and Obama. Of course, this guy is a member of the same Zionist gang. The Zionist banksters out there wouldn't have let him in this cabinet if he didn't support the same Zionist puppeteers before. He said, I have always been for strong gun control laws, but they're taking away our guns. They're taking away our guns. Donald is going to say, I'm taking away our guns. He did also say, we have 5% of the world's population, but 50% of the world's guns. Enough is enough. Republicans should support gay marriage, says Anthony, Donald Trump's good friend from New York City, Anthony Scaramucci. He loved Hillary Clinton. He loves Democrats. He loves career politicians. He loves vile, satanic swamp masters. He deleted his anti-Trump tweets. He said, odd guy, so smart with no judgment. He says Donald Trump has no judgment. Anthony Scaramucci. Anthony Scaramucci, the fraud about Donald Trump. Oh, I will build a wall. Walls don't work. Never have, never will. The Berlin Wall don't fall for it. So he and the swamp have been completely exposed. They will say anything that is convenient at the current time. This is factual right in front of the Trumpanzee's face, and the Trump-tard will still claim fake news! Fake news! These people think that these low, uneducated morons will believe anything. You believe me, the elites think you're all stupid, you dumb plebes that will just never fucking get it. That a billionaire like Donald Trump is only there to preserve the interests of the ruling class. This so-called healthcare legislation is all just a big giant cut for the rich. Scaramucci is good friends with Barack Obama. They knew each other from Ivy League school, from college. Anthony Scaramucci says, I represent Wall Street. Donald Trump's good friend, Anthony Scaramucci, I represent Wall Street.
It's familiar to some viewers of our network because he appears on CNBC as a hedge fund manager.
And I also went to law school with you with Brian Mathis.
It's great to see you.
Back in the day.
You've done very well. That's right.
And if I fouled you on the hoop court, it wasn't intentional.
I remember that.
You would remember if I fouled you. I got a low center of gravity. The question I have, sir, and this is something I really, a lot of my friends are thinking about. Listen, I represent the Wall Street community. We have felt like a piñata. Maybe you don't feel like you're whacking us with a stick, but we certainly feel like we've been whacked with a stick. So I certainly think that Main Street and Wall Street.
So, Donald Trump's communications director, I represent Wall Street. Donald Trump is in debt with Wall Street. He is beholden to Wall Street. Anthony Scaramucci has completely been exposed, but how about his counterpart, Kellyanne Conway? Before she was suddenly a member of the alternate right, she was a pundit on CNN. She was saying how Donald Trump should release his tax returns. Watch this.
And my questioning. So I want to ask you about this alliance between you first, Kellyanne, between John Kasich and Ted Cruz, this alliance, shall we say, that Donald Trump is calling collusion. Is this fair game? Are they playing by the rules here?
Oh, absolutely. It's completely transparent. Donald Trump's tax returns aren't. I'd like to see those be transparent. I mean, this was done in the light of day, and basically it affects 3 states, Oregon and New Mexico, that Mr. Kasich, Governor Kasich, will now go, I guess, and campaign in, and Indiana, where Ted Cruz is far ahead of John Kasich in a 3-way race, and which is a very important state. It's winner take all by congressional district.
He's saying to unify the party, both of them should quit. That would be the unifying strategy. That's what Donald Trump says.
I'm sure he would like them to quit because he should have had this nomination wrapped up at least a month ago. And I think instead of worrying about them and insulting them as lying Ted and John Kasich, who eats like a slob, and everything else that was said today, which is fairly unpresidential, then I think he should just ignore them. I mean, if he wasn't worried about them, why not just ignore these 2 people he thinks aren't actual competitors? I actually think they got under his skin today.
She admitted that, they got under his skin. And she says, well, I agree with her that Lion Ted and Little Marco makes him really unpresidential. Well, she'll say anything what's very convenient at the time, which is to get a gig with CNN. And now I gotta go out and help Donald so I can get a job in the White House. Self-serving people that are a member of the swamp. She also donated to Ted Cruz, and his wife worked for Goldman Sachs. Kellyanne Conway donated to Ted Cruz. She would have been a member of Ted Cruz's cabinet if he was the president, but we know for now she is a fraud and a member of the swamp. Kellyanne Conway is 50 years old. She turned 50 years old on Donald Trump's inauguration day. This comes as no coincidence by the numbers, because Donald equals 50 and America equals 50, turning 50 years old on the day Donald Trump is inaugurated. It is only fitting that Kellyanne E. Conway, Elizabeth in Pythagorean gematria and simple gematria, equals 68 and 185, and so does Donald Trump's full name, Donald John Trump, and gematria equals 185 and 68. His presidency is going to be all pre-planned, one term. Also, stock market crash equals 185 and 59, the 59th quadrennial election 2020. This collapse is all pre-planned in advance. We also have Nikki Haley, ambassador to the UN. You see, on Inauguration Day, she turned 45 years old. And we do know that Donald Trump is the 45th president. This is all by design, by the numbers. Nikki Haley turning 45 years old on the day that the 45th president was inaugurated. This is no coincidence. This is all show for Nikki Haley to cater to Americans by criticizing Donald Trump. Trump's election not true representative of the Republican Party. This is what the swamp masters say. If we're going to lead effectively, be good at governing, we must accept that Trump's election was not an affirmation of the way Republicans have conducted themselves. She has criticized Donald Trump before, and Donald Trump and another vile swamp puppet, Ann Coulter, went ahead and told Donald Trump to deport Nikki Haley. Now, I don't know where that part was located at. Okay, Trump and his supporters hit back at Nikki Haley's jabs against Donald Trump and his xenophobia and his racism. Definitely contributed to what I think is irresponsible talk. And Ann Coulter said Trump should deport Nikki Haley, but Nikki Haley, the only problem is for Ann Coulter is that Nikki Haley is a member of the swamp and a member of Donald Trump's cabinet. So these are all hypocritical swamp monsters. They'll say anything that's convenient, that's popular at the time. Scaramucci is good friends with Obama. He said he represents Wall Street. He loves Hillary. He gave money to Obama. Kellyanne Conway was a CNN pundit. She said Donald Trump should release his tax return. She said the exact opposite right after the hypocritical liar gets a job in Donald Trump's cabinet, and Nikki Haley said whatever was convenient, all participating in show, criticized Donald Trump and his scripted showbiz. She criticizes Trump, but she still gets a job. All reveals that this is all show. Scaramucci gave money to Obama. I'm going to post all these links below. First part for the series on the swamp. This swamp just even got swampier. Part 2 coming your way really shortly. Trumpansies, don't be fooled.